Hey everybody, this is Noah with Learn Meta-Analysis, and I want to talk today about ChatLLM. So I have used ChatLLM now for the last 6 months. I signed up in November of last year, which was 2024, and actually it might have been October. I don't know. We'll go look at my profile in a minute. Anyway, I've been using it for about 6 months, and since that time, I have been saying I think it is the best large language model service for most people, and I'm still very much on that train. They keep adding new services, they keep adding new models, and honestly, I'm really happy with it. For $10 a month, I'm really happy with it. I'm going to get a disclaimer out of the way right now, okay? So, with previous videos that I did about ChatLLM, people have asked, do I have some special account where I get to use as many credits as I want? No, I don't. The only affiliations that I have with ChatLLM, number one, I use it and I pay for it out of my own money. And number two, I have a referral link. And if you sign up using the referral link, they give me $5. That said, every single user of ChatLLM has a referral link. So I am not special in any way. I don't think I've emailed them in any way. I don't have any communications with them in any way as of now. Like, this is just a service that I like and I recommend to people because it just works and it gives me access to a bunch of different models all at once. So that disclaimer out of the way, I want to do a really high level overview of what ChatLLM has, and then we're going to explore some of the features. We'll look at some of my credit usage. They just changed it from compute points to credits apparently. I don't ever come close to going over, so I just don't really pay attention to what they're calling it because I have never had an issue, but I just saw that when I logged in today. So that said, let's get started. What is ChatLLM by Abacus AI? Well, it is essentially a way to get access to leading large language models all in the same account in one place for $10 a month. They do have an upgraded tier where you get access to some other features, which I'll tell you about in a little bit when we get there. But as of now, they have, well, of course, they have GPT, they got Claude, they got some Llama, Gemini stuff. I'll go through the actual list of models. I think there's like 22 available right now, so I'm not really going to focus on this. But you do have a lot of the major players: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, etc. I will say, as a fan of Mistral, the one that is missing, in my opinion, is Mistral. They don't have Mistral here. I don't know why they don't have Mistral here, but that's besides the point. So, in terms of features, they got a bunch of features. I'm not going to run through all these different things that they have. And yeah, I'm not even going to go through these right now. Let's just jump right over and take a look at what they got. So I will say that I do not use all of the features within ChatLLM. I am slowly branching out and using more of them as I find that they function better and I actually have some use case for it. So you can see here that they talk about LLM bot that can connect to Slack and Google Drive and stuff like that. I've never used any of that. If you look up here, they have their own code editor. I haven't used their code editor at all. I have used Deep Agent, so we'll talk about that. That said, that's enough of an overview. Let's just get into what the actual thing looks like when you log in. Let's take a look at my account, okay? So as you can see, we go down here, my start date for billing was November 1st of 2024. Next billing cycle is a couple days from now from when I'm recording this. I'm recording this on 24 May, and my next billing cycle is 1 June. You will see in terms of my credits for this month, as I mentioned, they just changed over. You can see the warning at the top. They changed over from compute points to credits for some reason. I don't know. Like I said, I've never actually hit like my limit, so I don't really care about what they call it, or as long as they don't change the overall number, then I don't really care. So anyway, people thought before that like I had some unlimited account or something. You can see here clearly that I don't. Under credits for this month, I have 20,000 credits. I have used almost half of them, and I have slightly more than half remaining, and it will restart here. So if we go to my view credit usage, one of the things I thought was kind of cool was it breaks it down by day, and it also breaks it down by like the tool that you're using, web search, image and video, or the specific LLMs. And I didn't really know about this until I was getting ready to film this video today. So I thought this was kind of neat. I don't think I'll ever use it. It has no practical purpose to me. But I guess if I really cared, I could see like on May 14th, I was doing a lot of something with LLMs. Like I used more points that day than otherwise. But I guess where this could be valuable is you could see like how many points or credits or whatever they want to call it you used for the different models. Like I said, I've never had to like pay attention. I haven't hit my limit. I don't think I've even really come close to hitting my limit. I think the most I've used in a month is like 3/4 of the credits that I had available. And with the way that I use large language models, I haven't had a problem with this. So As we can see over here, there's a couple new features that I don't necessarily know about. So part of this video was me wanting to explore things that weren't here before. So bear with me on a few things because I'm going to be very open about what I have and haven't used. So as we go down the list here, the first thing that we have is tasks. I actually do use a task. So I think last time I made this video, I had just started using tasks, and I've been using it since then. As you can see, I have set up a task that checks for new OLLAMA models every single day. It runs at 9 a.m. and when the results are ready, it just tells me. So if I click on view results, we'll see what it says. Let's see, on May 23, that was yesterday, the following models were uploaded to the OLLAMA platform. So I will say this is actually inaccurate. At least I'm assuming this is inaccurate. I don't think Qwen 3 was actually updated yesterday, but what I noticed was that this is a little bit, I don't know the right word, a little bit inaccurate sometimes. Sometimes it is accurate. So like as I go through here, when it says, here are the new models that were uploaded today, like I think this was the day that Qwen 2.5 VL was updated and Qwen 3.2 Vision was updated. But for some reason, the way I've set up this task doesn't seem to actually get the right information every single time. This is, in my opinion, a prompt issue. Not really an issue with the task. It's an issue with the prompt. So if I cared more, I would go back and fix it, but I don't really care that much, so I'm probably not. That's just my honest opinion on that. Okay, so let's go back into the profile here. So the second one I want to show you is projects. So previously on one of these videos on ChatLLM, somebody was like, oh, there's no folders, so that means it's garbage. There are folders, they just don't call them folders, they call them projects. I don't know if this actually existed when that comment was made or not because they continue to expand ChatLLM, but projects has been on here for a while. You can see I created a test one a while ago just to see how it worked. So if I go to this project, you can see I have one chat in there right now that's understanding falcons. You can create custom instructions, you can add files that you want specifically to this, and you can add other chats to it later. So as an example, if I go to, let's say over here on the left, I have this check for new OLLAMAs model. I wonder if you can move task? Yeah, you can move task into the project. I just clicked on this little 3 dots, and now I can move it to the project if I wanted to, and then it would show up there under my projects at the top. So next, I don't know what deep agent competition is. Oh, interesting. I might do this just for fun. So I didn't know this existed. Apparently they're having some sort of competition around using their deep agent tool. I haven't gotten to deep agent yet. So when I cover that in this video, I have tried it. When I get to that, I will show you guys what deep agent is because it was actually impressive to me. There's not much that like super impresses me anymore, but deep agent was pretty impressive. So we'll circle back to that here in a minute, but apparently they have some sort of competition going on here. So next they have MCP server configuration. This again is new. I did not know this existed until I started making this video. So I'm not really sure how this connects yet, but it looks like it connects it to deep agent. So in the future, I will check this out more because MCP, if you know about programming stuff or care about programming stuff, is pretty powerful. Moving on down, we get into connectors. So if you want to, you can connect it to Google Drive or OneDrive. I have not done that. I don't feel the need to do that. But if you wanted to, you could do that. So as I move on to the Manage tab, I can create custom bots. We'll get to that here in a minute. I don't really use it. Then they have things like groups and messaging, blah, blah, blah. And as I mentioned before, everybody has this referral tab. This isn't because Noah's special. Everybody, I think, should have this because I don't have a special account in any way, shape, or form. So let's move on. Okay, so first and foremost, the question most people probably want to know right now is what models are available. So as of the day I'm filming this, there are 22, well, really 21. So Route LLM will switch you to whatever, like you can type in your question and it'll pivot you to the LLM that it thinks is going to do the best job. So let's talk about GPT first. It has GPT 4.1, it has GPT 04 mini high, 03 high, and 4.0 mini, as well as 4.1 mini and 4.5 preview. It's a lot of GPT. Now we'll move on to Claude. The newest model is Claude 4. It just came out like yesterday, day before yesterday. But Claude 4, Opus, and Sonnet are both available. So is Sonnet 3.7. And I think, nope, they took Sonnet 3.5 off. So one of the things that they do is they rotate out the models. So as newer models get released, the older ones get dropped off and the newer ones replace them. So we have those 3 Claude models. In terms of Gemini, we have 2.5 Pro and 2.5 Flash, and you'll see I guess I should say, I used Gemini 2.5 Pro a lot. I'm really impressed with that model, especially for the price point that it's offered at right now, but that's completely irrelevant to using ChatLLM for the most part, other than credit usage, but we'll talk about that. Then we have DeepSeek. If you are a DeepSeek fan, it is here. There's Grok if you're a Grok fan. There's Llama 4 Maverick if you're a Llama fan. If you are an Abacus AI fan, they have Smog. If you are a Qwen fan, they have their large Qwen model available. So, and one of the things that I was really, really happy about, they added Perplexity Pro. And if you guys watch the channel, you know I am a big fan of Perplexity, but I didn't want to pay $20 a month for Perplexity Pro. So guess what? Now I have it here through ChatLLM, and I don't have to worry about it. And it's kind of funny because at one point I actually thought about canceling my ChatLLM subscription because honestly I just wasn't using it that much for a little while. But then when they added Perplexity Pro, I was like, well, I use this a lot more than I thought I did, so I guess we're keeping it. And now I'm really glad I didn't cancel because I have been really happy with this service, and I can't imagine subscribing to all these things separately. Now, a question you might be asking is like, well, Noah, would you really actually subscribe to all of these things separately? And the answer is a little bit nuanced because it's yes and no. If it were me, the way that I use LLMs is I use different LLMs for different things because as of now, they're all good at different things and they don't necessarily have a lot of overlap. And if you're doing coding, sometimes LLMs get stuck and they can't fix a problem. But then if you send it to a different LLM, it'll find the error pretty much immediately. It all has to do with their training data and all that sort of thing. So right now, my kind of daily driver for the big LLMs is Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm finding myself on ChatLLM more and more as time goes on at the moment. So that said, Gemini 2.5 Pro I really like. I honestly haven't played with Claude 4 that much yet. I saw some of the benchmarks. There were some improvements. I just don't know what that actually translates to. If you watch the channel, you know I'm not a huge fan of GPT. I don't really use DeepSeek because I don't particularly like reasoning models that much. Otherwise, I really have nothing against it other than it's a reasoning model. And yeah, I know you're probably like, well, Noah, Gemini 2.5 Pro is a reasoning model. Yeah, it is. I don't have any comeback. I'm just like, yeah, I know it is. It just is what it is. I don't use Grok. I have started to experiment with Llama 4 a little bit, but not much. And I use Perplexity Pro quite a bit because I really like Perplexity. So that said, that's all the LLMs that are here. As you can see down here, you can create custom chatbots and AI workflows with their AI engineer. I don't use this very much because I don't really have much use for a custom chatbot. It's just the way that I use AI. I don't use it for things like that. But if you want to create one, they've made it pretty stinking easy where you go through, and as you can see when you go into the AI engineer, we'll just walk through this. I think I've done it one time. Oh, it wants to use Deep Agent. I don't want to use Deep Agent right now. Okay, so we'll go back to here. Yeah, I know. All right, there we go. Okay, so down here, the next thing that I want to show you is down here at the bottom, you can see we have a number of tools. We have Deep Agent, we have Code LLM, we have Operator, and we have apps. I will say right now, I have not used Code LLM at all, 0 times. I probably should. I should try it because it's already included with what I have. I just haven't tried it. In terms of Operator, literally same thing. I have not used Operator at all outside of using Deep Agent, which I used once. Same thing with apps. I haven't used apps at all because I just haven't had a use case for it. But I did use Deep Agent. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the different features that we can use in the chat. For testing purposes, I'm just going to leave it on Gemini 2.5 Pro because I like it, and who cares? It really doesn't matter for some of these features that we're going to have. I will say some of these I use, some of these I haven't used, and we're going to use for the first time. So the first thing that I use all the time is images. So if you want to know what image models are available, there's a lot. Okay, this is the list of them that are available right now. I tend to use Flex 1.1 Pro Ultra as well as Recraft. Those are my 2 favorite. If you want to know how long something takes, let's generate 4 images at once, and we'll say a falcon flying. No, you know what? We'll say a falcon fighting a dragon while a dog watches sitting on the beach with a tennis ball. I have no idea if it's going to be able to actually do this prompt, but that seems fun, and we'll see if it ends up working. So again, we're using Recraft to create these images. I know it says Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's not actually using Gemini 2.5 Pro to do that. I think it might refine the prompt with Gemini, but other than that, it doesn't actually use Gemini 2.5 Pro to generate the image. It uses Recraft because that's what we selected. So the image generation, I really like the variety of models that they have available because each one does a different type of image and they do different things well. So I have a lot of fun with this. Oh, look, and we're already done. Okay, so we have a really interesting bird. It's got like the wing color of a Harris's hawk and the face of a hawk mixed with a dragon and a dog that looks a little bit unsettled, but I think if that thing was standing in front of me, I'd look a little bit unsettled too. Let's see this one. Okay, so wow, this is kind of ridiculous. And yeah, I have no words for this one, especially with this seagull owl thing up here. I think this prompt was a little bit too complicated. So we have whatever this is. And wow, that's spectacularly bad. We have this one down here. So this was probably not the greatest example to show you. Let me show you one Recraft image where, just to show you that Recraft can do normal things. So we'll say a dog catching a tennis ball and have that generate. So in terms of credit usage, of course, I just clicked it. So it's not gonna, the credit usage went away. Whoops. Let's go back here. What did I do? I seem to have gotten lost. Ah, there it is. Okay. So here's a much better picture. As you can see, Recraft makes some really cool realistic images of this cute little Jack Russell Terrier catching the ball. And credits used, because if you were concerned about credits, it was 40 to do one image. So it looks like with Recraft, it costs about 40 credits per image, because this one, yeah, this is 160 credits and there were 4 pictures. Okay, so let's start a new chat. And we'll go to the next thing. Code, relatively self-explanatory. I'm not going to go over that. Playground, this is really like the artifacts feature. You don't actually need to press the button. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'll show you what I mean. So here, oh, they have a nice little button. Create an HTML landing page. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually design that for you, and it'll give you the code, and then it breaks into the playground on this right side where it actually writes all the code, and then it'll show you what it has created. So we'll just give it a minute to run here. Bingo. And now it created a nice little landing page for us. So if you want to download it, all you got to do is click on download. You can switch between the code and the preview. So that said, let's close that artifact window and let us open a new chat. So as we go across, PowerPoint generation. This is actually a pretty cool feature, and I used it just the other day. So what you can do is you can drag in a paper. Let me see if I have a paper on my desktop that we can use. It looks like I do. Let's drag this in, and you can see it uploads it. Now we're going to just click PowerPoint generation, and we'll say, it says describe the PowerPoint, and we'll say I need to create a 15-minute conference presentation based on this paper. This is for a top tier academic conference. Now, what it's going to do is it should generate our PowerPoint for us. I will say that in my experience with this thus far, it makes a pretty ugly PowerPoint, but the bullet points have been pretty solid. And so what you can do is you can actually change the template that is in here for the PowerPoint. Ah, see, look, choose PowerPoint template. It gives you the options here. So you can do professional, modern, artsy, blah, blah, blah. And you can also do custom where you upload your own template. So for the purposes of this, let's go with professional, because this would be for a professional conference. And so I just want to mention, I would look at this type of thing as like getting started and saving you some time, not necessarily like the absolute, this is what I'm going to use. This is purely to save time on drafting, and whatever it comes up with, I would probably edit. But I am going to let it run through here, and I'm going to show you what it gives us at the end. It's going reasonably quickly. Already at the finding slide, blah, 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 blah. All right, here we go. It's almost done. There we go. And so now we just say, yes, generate the presentation, and it will create it for us. So you can see it is doing its generating now that it has outlined it. And this is actually a nice step. I don't think it used to have this step. At least last time I used this, I didn't notice this step, which is it'll let you edit any of these bullet points before it actually creates the presentation. I don't remember being able to have that option, but maybe it's been there the whole time. And if you watch the channel, you know I'm a reasonably impatient person with things like this, where I probably wouldn't read through it all because I know I'm gonna have to edit it anyway. So this is generating our presentation for us. As you can see, it says it may take a few minutes, but I like for people to be able to see how long this takes in real time, because at least for me, when I watch videos, if somebody installs something and it takes like a millisecond, I get a very different impression of it than if I actually see it for the entire time that it takes. So I like to leave this actually running so that you guys can see it. And in the meantime, while it does that, I will just point out a couple other quick features about the interface. So down here at the bottom, you can see it has a web search tool. And you can also add attachments if you don't like to click and drag. If you'd rather go to your file structure, you can do that with the attachments button. See, add from files, or you can connect apps. And if we go to connect apps, it's going to bring us to a different page. So up here, we have our share button. If we want to share this chat with somebody, we can send them a link. Let's see if this pops up. Yeah, see, so we can copy the link to it if we want to. And then if we want to download the whole thing as a PDF, we can also do that. So all we do is click this download button and then it would open up. And I'll show you what that looks like because it is a little bit of an odd presentation, but once I got used to it, it made a lot more sense. Apparently it does not want to actually work while it is generated. There it is. Okay, I was like, I know it works. It's just a matter of I got to give it time and I'm not patient. So what it does is it gives you this. It always has the user in one color and the bot in another color. Yeah, I know. I downloaded it multiple times. Okay, so as you can see, it has the bot's information in blue and ours in green. So I found this helpful when I'm sharing, trying to share information with other people. All right, so now it has created our PowerPoint. It is still generating a little bit, but it has at least opened up this side panel for us. And in a moment, it will finish. See, just like that, all done. So we can scroll through here. And this design is actually better than it used to be. But that said, there are some things that I would personally change about the layout. I just don't love this template. But again, you can put in a custom template and it'll work for you. So if you want to download it, you just click on the download button up here at the top and it will do that for you. So that is the PowerPoint generation. Next is deep research. This was a huge thing when deep research first came out, right? Like a couple months ago now, maybe at least a couple weeks ago when deep research came out. I was pretty pumped when they put this in here. I will say that as of last time I used deep research, I actually found that Gemini's implementation was better for my use case. But let's give it a try. We'll just let it run so that you guys can see how it works. So we'll say, what is residual heterogeneity in moderator analysis in a meta-analysis? And I'm going to fix the spelling here, and we are going to hit go on deep research. And again, I am just going to let this run. So it's going to create a nice little plan here, again using Gemini 2.5 Pro. And then it's going to say we are going to go ahead and start that. So it's going to start doing research. This takes a little bit of time. So I am going to just mute my microphone and let you guys watch this generate so you can see how it works. Okay, I'm bored. It's been not long at all, but it's got a lot. I know it's going to go through a lot more sources, and it goes a little bit slowly because a lot of these deep research things tend to go a little bit slowly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the other features while this runs in the background. Okay, so over here, if we click on more, you can see that there are a lot of different options. I'm not going to go through all of them because I don't think that's a very good use of your time, but there are a few that I want to just mention and highlight. So first is document generation. This works with a Word document, so you can have it write into a Word document for you. Next is video generation. So this is pretty stinking cool because look at all these different models that you have available to you. So let's try using well, I certainly don't want that. One of the things that I like is it gives you warnings when something is going to use a lot of your credit. So let's not use that. Let's try maybe runway. I don't have a start frame, so maybe cling. I guess all of them want you to use a start frame. So anyway, we will go back and we'll try runway. I don't think I've ever used runway before. A dog catching a tennis ball in the park. Aspect ratio, we're going to do a smaller, yeah, that's fine. I like wider ones. And then in terms of duration, we can say 5 seconds, that's fine. Let's generate. Ah, the file is mandatory. Okay, some of these do not have a mandatory file. I just don't remember which one. So let's try this one and see if it works. Yeah, this one will work. I've never used this one before, so no idea what it's going to come up with, but we'll give it a shot. I don't really do video generation, to be honest with you. I don't really have a use case for it, but it is a really cool feature, and it's kind of fun. So we'll see what it comes up with here. So something that is interesting as I am looking over here on the left-hand side is it looks like our deep research may have been deleted because we left it while it was generating. I'm really curious about that. One of the things that I'm curious about, and again, guys, like I show you the good and the bad. I'm not editing this to make it seem like everything's just peachy, because like most things work really well in ChatLLM for me. But sometimes there are some kind of weird glitches like this where we initiated that deep research and we left. And I left under the assumption that it was still going to do it. But I don't see it over here in our list. So maybe it'll show up when it's done. I just want you guys to keep that in mind and know that like I'm not doing any weird editing here. This is the reality of using tools like this that are constantly being worked on. Is on one hand, it may just be gone. On the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if when the deep research finishes, it pops up. So we'll keep that in the background of our mind and we will see what happens. So this is still generating our video. Peculiar. Now that's a weird one, isn't it? So what I want to point out is, as I said, I'm not doing any weird editing on this. We asked it to create a video and instead it started to, and then it kicked us back to a chat interface and it added another new chat here. Okay, so it did finish our deep research. That's what happened. Okay, so it's so funny that we were literally just talking about this. Okay, so we asked it to do deep research about residual heterogeneity in meta-analysis, specifically in a moderator analysis. It searched 49 sources. You can get access to those here on the side. And then it gives us this nice little report. Okay, so pretty much what you would expect deep research to be able to do. Some of the things that I appreciate about this are, number one, I like that the sources it gives me so far, we got the Cochrane collaboration, we got something by Higgins, and we have a paper by Wolfgang. So these things are all very, very relevant. So I'm very happy about that. I can see we also have Prisma statement down here, also relevant. So let's circle back. Okay, great. It is actually generating the video. So as you can see, all we really actually had was some weirdness with the visual interface when that other task completed. So when we left midway through, it looked like it didn't appear in the list anymore. But then once it completed, it popped back up. Now I will say it is just listed as new chat, but if you want to rename it, you can just edit the name of it right here, I think by clicking edit if you wanted to. So let's go back and wait for this video. Oh, we don't even need to wait for the video. So this is the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Hailu AI perhaps. We'll see what this video is. That's a lot of tennis balls, and he definitely didn't catch it, but it was a good try. And this, this, like I said, I don't really use video generation. I don't know the secrets to it. I don't know the secrets to good prompting, but it's available, and there's a lot of different models available, and I think that's fun. So one of the things that I noticed is new on here is this set of three: lip sync, text to speech, and speech to text. And I've literally never used them. I want to try them right now. So let's try the lip sync. And if this does what I think it's going to do, I'm going to be pumped. So it looks like we only have, it doesn't tell us how many it's going to use. So we're just going to do it. Let's choose our voice. So we have a couple different options here. Let's choose Onyx, or actually Nova. We'll choose Nova. Script, we'll say learn meta-analysis is the most fun and useful YouTube channel I have ever found. Voice instructions, should be excited and happy. And avatar description. Oh, we get to describe it? I don't care. What did I choose? I chose a female voice. Oh, I see. So Hendra is a model that's going to generate all of these things for us. I thought Hendra was like the actual character model. So I think I chose a female voice. Did I? Nova? Yeah, so we'll say the avatar. I wonder if it can be a talking bird. A talking bird. We'll just say a bird in an anime style that is very cute. And we'll see what it comes up with. I have as you can tell, I've never done this before. This is a new feature that I did not know existed. I have absolutely no idea what it's going to come up with. So I'm actually like really excited about this because I think it's really going to make me laugh a lot. Especially because we asked for a cute anime bird. And my experience with asking for cute anime birds in different image models is that they're like all over the place, but they often have like huge eyes, like in the anime style, but the rest of the bird can be like anything. I've seen all sorts of different birds in anime style. So I really am kind of excited to see what this looks like because, as I mentioned, I did not know this was a feature of ChatLLM until this morning when I was like, you know what? I should make a video about my 6-month experience. So while this is generating, I'll just say, so far over my 6 months, I was skeptical when I started using it, and then I kept it because it was cheap. And then I got kind of reinvigorated to use it again when they added Perplexity Pro. And then I thought about leaving again because I thought I could get it for less than $10 a month if I like use the individual APIs. And then now I'm back to, I really like it, and I'm going to keep subscribing because it's $10 a month. It gets me access to a lot of different models and a lot of different features. So I'm happy with it. I know that there's some visual bugs in the UI and a couple little bugs like that, like you've seen. I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything. I showed you guys the weird bug where when we left the deep research in the middle of it, it didn't show up. And then when it did show up, when it was done, it just shows up as new chat over here on the left side. So like I also showed you with the task, how my task does tend to perform, like in terms of actually in some ways doing what I wanted, but I probably need to work on the actual prompt for it, because I think the prompt that I used is preventing it from working as well as it could. But that said, that's kind of on me more than it is the actual task model. The task model seems to run at around 9 a.m. every day. I can't tell you that it's exactly at that minute because honestly, I don't check it at 9:01 or anything like that. I kind of just circle back to it throughout the day whenever I feel like it. So it does usually run every single day and I get some sort of update from it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. If you decide to try it out, like I said, it's $10 a month. If you use the referral link that I have in the description, it'll give me $5. So big, huge thank you in advance. If you do that, I really appreciate it. It helps support the channel. Boy, I really want to see this anime bird. This is taking longer than I expected for generating the lip sync. It says this may take a while, but I'm impatient and I would like for it to work. That said, I really shouldn't complain because I've done lip sync in like Unity and Unreal Engine and things like that where you actually have to, do more than just say go and have it be lip synced. So I don't know if you guys remember, if any of you guys out there watching this happen to do any sort of animation or anything in the past, but if you do or you have, oh, well, our bird is done and I'm super excited now. So, oh my goodness, look at this bird. That is the cutest little bird. All right, little bird, let's see what you have to say.
Learn Meta-Analysis is the most fun and useful YouTube channel I have ever found.
Wow. Okay, so it did use a female voice. It did not do great on the lip sync itself, but it said what I wanted it to say. So I'm going to say intrigued. That's how I'm going to leave this off. I think it made a cute little character. But that said, let's not spend any more time on that. I think it could probably do a lot better with a human-like character is my guess. So they also have text-to-speech and speech-to-text. These are things that were not there previously. Let's try out the text-to-speech. It looks like we have 3 different options here. I'm going to use 11 Labs because I think that they have some pretty cool voices. And let's choose, oh man, what a list of voice. A clear dynamic voice. Let's do that. Script, learn, meta-analysis is the best, and generate. I'm realizing that you guys...
Learn meta-analysis is the best.
Wow, that was really fast. I was getting ready to talk, but I'll play that again.
Learn meta-analysis is the best.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. We got all sorts of different options here for voices. So they also have speech to text. I'm not going to get into that. They have Humanize, which I think is pretty interesting in concept. I didn't know this was there before. So let's say something like residual heterogeneity in meta-analysis, which will just fix my spelling. I know it's kind of weird that I can never spell that word correctly, isn't it? So we'll let that run, and then we're going to press the Humanize button. I've never actually pressed it before. In theory, what it does is it'll humanize the response that the LLM gives you. So let's try it and see if that's what it actually does. Oh, interesting. Well, this is amusing. I didn't know there are different ways you could do it. I like funny and clever. That sounds fun. And let's hit apply. So I think what this is probably doing is just changing the system prompt, and I'm going to regenerate this in that funny and clever way in theory. So we will see if it actually does. Ah, it does. It's like that one party guest who, no matter how many times you ask, who are you with, just shrugs and keeps on eating. I love it. Okay, I think I might change the Humanize to be the default because this is much more amusing. So as you can see, it rewrote all of this in an amusing way, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So see if there's anything else in here. They have video analysis. It also has URL scraping. I'm not going to use that right now. I don't really have a good use case for it. And apparently it can also do screenshots, but I'm not really worried about that either. So a lot of different features that you get within the chat. Now, the last thing that I really want to show you here is Deep Agent. Okay, so this is their new sort of, I would say, automated tool builder where it can build apps, it can build all sorts of things. So I want to show you one that I made in the past because with the regular account, the $10 a month account, I think you only get to build 2 of them per month, but I could be wrong, but I think you only get 2. They've been working on this and I tried it very early on in the beginning. So here is what it is. I know somebody who does landscaping, and when we were talking to them, they said that they had a lot of customers and it was really hard to create their route in an optimal way to make sure that they got all of the things done in the proper order on time because they just had so many customers they felt like they were constantly driving around like crazy and trying to figure out how to optimize the day. So me being me, I was like, I bet we can make a tool that can fix that. And then Deep Agent came out right at that same time. So I was like, intriguing. So here is the prompt that I used. I want to create a web application to help my friend manage a business. They have a landscaping business with many customers, so I want to create an application that helps him optimize his route. Specifically, I want to take into account the location of the job, how long it should take, the setup and breakdown time at each job, the travel time between jobs, and the number of workdays per week and the number of hours of work each day. I want the user to input the number of workdays per week, the number of hours working each day individually, and for each job, the address of each job, how long it will take, the setup time, the breakdown time. And I want the app to automatically create the optimal schedule of jobs each week to be the most efficient based on all the factors listed above that fit all the jobs within 1 week, given the time constraints provided. And then I want to create a travel map for each day, showing the route the individual should take. So it did this, okay? So it asked a couple clarifying questions before we began. I answered them. And then it created its plan and it essentially one-shotted this app that you're going to see whenever this finally restarts. So I will say that when I leave it and come back, it takes a little while to actually restart this virtual machine that it's doing right now. So something went wrong. Let's try restarting one more time. We'll see if it works this time. There we go. Okay, so here we have our landscaping route optimizer. We'll go ahead and get started. There we go. Okay, I don't know why I had to click multiple times. I think it's just going slowly. So here you can see that I have already put in 3 jobs. It's got weekly mileage, it's got total hours, and it's got the efficiency. It's got our weekly overview, but there's none scheduled right now. So one of the things that's interesting is over here on settings, we can toggle on and off different days and different times, and we can also include default setup times and breakdown times. We can get reports from it. So it's got mileage, hours, and efficiency. If we go to routes, it doesn't have the Google Maps API hooked up yet. So this is really the only fault of the program that I found so far is I would need to connect my own API, which is of course, my fault because I specified I wanted to use Google Maps, I think. In terms of schedule, you can see right now it's a Saturday and it doesn't have anything. But if I click on this one, you can see it comes up with a couple schedules. So moving on. If I go to jobs, you can see I put in 3 different addresses here. I actually have these blocked out because they were real addresses of places that I know, and I just wanted to keep them a little bit more private to the extent that I can. But you can see if I want to add a new job, all I do is I click here and I'm able to do so. It'll automatically schedule it out for us. So I was super impressed with this. The other thing that I'll mention is from here, it's really easy to deploy it. You can deploy it on their website, or you can actually download all of the code itself. So let me see if I can remember how to download all of the code itself. Yeah, so down here you can see view all files in this task. If we click that, we can download the route optimization app, and you can download it, it'll zip it, and you can get everything, and then you can make further modifications if you want to. Now, I think here, it won't actually let me ask a second question because I have the $10 a month plan, and I think they want you to use the $20 a month plan to be able to further use this, but let's just check and see if that's changed since I started this. You changed the theme to a little more modern, maybe some gray tones. Yeah, see, so it says I reached the maximum number. So they want me to upgrade to use it more. I'm not going to upgrade. I don't care enough to upgrade, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want one shot, like really huge head start on an app, this seems to work well. But I will say I think you only get 2 on the $10 a month plan. I do not know if it is 2 per month or 2 total. So please look in the documentation if this is a feature that you really want to care about. But it is intriguing to me. It's something that, like, if I had to build a web app, I think I'd probably pay the $20 to go ahead and have it build it out more fully and be able to ask questions back and forth and improve the look of it right there on the screen. But that said, there's a number of other services out there that do similar things. So if you're not into ChatLLM, but you want to use some other full stack development things, there's things like bolt.new or lovable.dev and things like that that are made specifically for that purpose. But I got to admit, for basically me throwing together a super not great prompt and just telling it what I wanted, it came up with a really good application it was way better than what I was expecting. So that said, as we circle back here, what is my kind of conclusion about ChatLLM? My conclusion is that after 6 months, I am more happy with it now than I was in the beginning. That says something. Well, I guess it doesn't, because when I joined in the beginning, I was very skeptical. Now it is a regular part of my workflow. I don't necessarily use it every single day, but I use it quite a bit. I personally have not had issues with the compute points or credits or whatever you want to call them, like the usage limits. I have not had any issues with that with my types of usage. As you saw for this month of May, I used about half of the credits that I had available to me. I will say there are some models that you can use for free. So let's see if we can get information on that. This answers our deep agent question. With the $10 a month plan, you can do 3 tasks, and upgrading the pro plan is $10 more, and you can use deep agent without restriction as long as you have the credits. So I'm not going to go through all of that. I don't really care about that. Okay, what are the usage limits here? So here's what they say. 20,000 credits per month, and the usage varies depending upon the model, right? But here's the important bit that I always want to highlight to people. You can use GPT-4.1 Mini, Gemini 2.0 Flash, DeepSeek R1, and Llama 4 without any limits. Okay, so like there were, I think, some concerns of like, what happens if I'm using this and then all of a sudden I'm out of my credits and I don't want to use it anymore. According to this, you can use these other models in there without any problems. So what do I tend to do? Well, in the beginning, I would get warnings from ChatLLM because I was using Claude a lot for like really heavy coding tasks. And it would say, hey, just so you know, if you keep going, you're at this rate, you are going to run out of credits before the end of the month. And so what I would do when I hit that point is I would switch over to a different model. And I don't remember which one I was using at the time, but they keep this reasonably updated on which models you can use without limits. So I just wanted to bring that up. I didn't know this. Sorry, like I said, they keep adding things consistently since I've started using the service over the last 6 months. So when I say I didn't know things, it's not because I'm a total moron. I mean, I am not necessarily the smartest human in the world, but some of the things are a little bit more specific, and I hadn't seen this information. So it says CodeLLM provides access to specialized models such as Qwen 3, Sonnet 3.7, Sonnet 3.5, and others. So I find this interesting, and at some point I'm gonna have to actually test out CodeLLM. Like I said, I haven't done that yet. That's their separate program for coding. So I am a little bit curious about this. I just haven't used it yet. So anyway, circling back to the overall question, am I happy with ChatLLM? Yes. Are there bugs occasionally? Yes. Do those bugs occasionally bother me? No. Why don't they bother me? Because $10 a month and nothing that I'm doing is absolutely mission critical where I can't hit refresh. Like most of the problems that I've had with ChatLLM with the interface are like what you saw before, where I'll leave a page before it was done running and then it'll later pop up in the sidebar or something like that. Sometimes you'll see it'll say like image generation failed or something, and I refresh the page and I run it again and it works fine. So I have not had any what I would call serious issues with ChatLLM. Now, if I was paying $30 or $40 a month for it, I wouldn't want those very occasional UI issues to happen because that's a lot more money. But for $10 a month, I think this is a great deal. At least for me and my use cases. I feel that this is a very, very, very good value, and I'm very happy with it. So that said, if you guys have any questions about ChatLLM or my experience with using ChatLLM, again, I've been using it for about 6 months, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I will answer as many as I can. If you decide to sign up for ChatLLM, please consider using my referral link down there. Like I said, if you sign up with the referral link, they'll give me $5, and that helps me support the channel. And generally speaking, yeah, I mean, I really don't have any major complaints about ChatLLM. I'm pretty happy with it. For now, I plan to stick with it. I know a couple months ago I was kind of on the fence, but again, I tell you guys how I'm feeling at the time, and I don't have like a permanent position on things like this. So as of now, 6 months in, I'm happy with ChatLLM. Especially for $10, I'm really happy with ChatLLM. I plan to stick with ChatLLM for a while. That could change overnight if they take away some feature that I think is super critical. But to be honest, I haven't had them taking away features. I've only had them adding features. And each feature that they add seems to be better. So they keep adding new features. They keep updating to the newest models. Generally speaking, I'm a pretty happy guy with ChatLLM. So that said, I realize that this video is going way too long, but hopefully this has been an in-depth enough coverage of ChatLLM, the interface, my experience with it, where you guys feel a little bit better of either this is a great tool for you or this is probably not the right tool for you. Something that people don't often talk about when they talk about these services is how do you cancel? Right? How do you cancel your subscription if you want to cancel? Well, on your profile page down here at the bottom, they have this cancel subscription button. And my assumption is that's how you do it. I'm not going to cancel mine because I'm very happy with it. But if you do sign up and you want to cancel, the button is at the bottom of the profile page as of now on the right-hand side. So that said, I'm very happy with ChatLLM. If you decide to use it and you like it, please let me know. If you decide to use it and you don't like it, please let me know. I'm really curious on what you didn't like about it. As I mentioned before, I have absolutely no connection to Abacus AI other than I have a referral link. And as you can see, everyone has a referral link. It's up here at the top, and it's also over here on the left-hand side. So I am not special in any way. I don't have a special account. I just have a normal person account. That said, I'm going to stop rambling now and go play with some large language models and do some programming because I find that fun, and that's how I feel like spending the rest of my day after I edit this video. So that said, I hope this review, long-term, 6 months, as I said, it's been 6 months. I hope this 6-month review of ChatLLM has been helpful for you, and I look forward to your guys' feedback. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.